Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Freight Broker Bootcamp Live. It's Monday at noon. Well, we're a little bit before noon. So for those of you that are joining early, we're going to be doing some free giveaways. Okay. Probably give away a t-shirt, maybe some cash. But more importantly, today on the training, we're going to talk about the number one thing that top freight brokers do to get shippers that new and small brokers don't understand. So that's what I'm going to share with you today in the training. We're going to do that in a little bit. First, we're going to start out with a free giveaway. Then we're going to do the training. And then at the end, we'll do live Q&A for those of you that stick around to the end, okay? So the training's going to start at noon. It's a little bit before noon now. It's probably about 11:45. So we're going to do a quick giveaway now, and then we're going to dive into the training. Then we'll do Q&A, all right? So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to let a few people get live. Then we're going to do this free giveaway. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here. I do these live trainings every Monday at noon. They're absolutely free. You notice how you didn't have to put a credit card in order to attend this training. This is open to past students, current students, people in my community, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or otherwise. So here's what I would ask you to do right now. First and foremost, hit the like button and then click share. Share this stream. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Pinterest. Share it on YouTube. Share it wherever you can. Let other people know. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, one of the ways I determine whether I'm going to continue to do these free trainings every week is the engagement that I get from you. So if you'd like to see me come back every week and do these free trainings, make sure you hit the like button and hit the share button. Make sure you share. Share it on Facebook. It'll take you 15 seconds. And it definitely helps the cause, and I greatly appreciate it. So we've got a bunch of people getting live. So here, we're going to do a free giveaway. First giveaway, we're going to give away one of my Freightpreneur t-shirts, okay? The highly coveted Freightpreneur t-shirt that I still am not selling, but I do give away. And it says, someone that solves problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand, okay? So we're going to give away the Freightpreneur t-shirt. Here's all you got to do. Lean in, pay close attention. Here's all you have to do. This first giveaway is going to be for Apple iPhone users. You have to have an Apple iPhone for this first giveaway, okay? So here's all I want you to do is pull out your Apple iPhone. Go to the podcast app. There's an app installed, already pre-installed on your phone. Go to the podcast app, and then once you open up the podcast app, I want you to search for Freight Broker Bootcamp. You will find the Freight Broker Bootcamp audio experience. The Freight Broker Bootcamp audio experience is the podcast that I launched. It's probably going on 6 months ago now. We were ranked in the top 100 out of all entrepreneur podcasts on Apple. So here's all you got to do. I want you to first subscribe to the podcast. Hit the subscribe, follow button. And then what I want you to do is to write a quick review. All you got to do is literally, it's a 5-star option. You can do 1 to 5. If you think the podcast sucks, give it a 1. If you think it's good, give it a 5. And then write a quick comment there about Freight Broker Bootcamp and the free trainings I've done and the podcast. And then come back in here. So you got to subscribe, rate, and review. If you're an Apple user, open up your Apple iPhone. And then once you do that, come back into the comments here and let me know that you subscribed, rated, and reviewed the Freight Broker Bootcamp podcast on Apple. So you rated and reviewed and subscribed to the podcast on Apple. You have to let me know that's for Apple, because this first giveaway is just for Apple users. And that's how I'm going to randomly select one person to win the shirt. Okay. So I know I'm talking fast, but it's because I want to get at least 2 giveaways done, okay? So Apple users, pull out your phone right now. Go to the podcast app. Search for Freight Broker Bootcamp. Subscribe, and then rate and review the podcast. Then come back in here and let me know in the comments that you subscribed, rated, and reviewed. That's all you got to do to qualify to potentially win the Freightpreneur t-shirt. And again, people ask me every single week, Dennis, do you sell these shirts? Are you going to sell these shirts? Where can I buy these shirts? I don't sell them. Okay. There was a point when I was going to put together a little bit of a merch store and let people go there and just buy them at cost, but I just honestly haven't had time. And so the only way you can get this shirt is through the 3 giveaways that I do. So it says someone that solves problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand. Okay. So I'm going to give that away. All you got to do for a chance to win that is subscribe to the Freight Broker Bootcamp podcast. You can't say done. Abdullah Ali, you can't say done. You have to say rated, subscribed, rated, review, and subscribed on Apple. You have to say that. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to pick your name, okay? Because done doesn't mean anything to me, okay? So you have to specifically follow those instructions if you want a chance to win the shirt. Now, I've given away, man, I've probably given away in the last year, I'll bet you I've probably given away almost 100 shirts, right? Probably in the last year to 2 years. And I'll continue to give them away as long as you guys are enjoying them. Typically, and this is US only, just so you know, I can't ship these overseas. It doesn't make any sense to ship a $25 shirt overseas. So hit me up in the comments and let me know if you guys want a chance to win. I'm not seeing anybody in here that's following the instructions yet. So I can't do the second giveaway until the first giveaway is done. All right. So this is an honor system. All you got to do, how many Apple iPhone users do we have here? Are you listening? Do you have an Apple iPhone? Hit me up in the comments and let me know that you have an Apple iPhone. Okay, because if you have an Apple iPhone, all you got to do is go to the podcast app. It's free. The podcast app is free. Subscribing is free. Rating and reviewing is free. And this shirt will be free if I pick you as a winner. Okay, so I'm hoping that I can do another giveaway. But if I can't get this one done in time, I have to start the training on time. And so I'm just looking for a few people. All right, good. Simon, I should say. Okay, Jim, you got to do more than just Apple here. Okay, you're letting me know you got an Apple. So if you got an Apple phone, all you got to do is go into the podcast app, search Freight Broker Bootcamp, subscribe, rate, and review. Come back in here and let me know. Okay. Again, Tanya, subscribe, rate, and review. Subscribe isn't going to get a chance to win. Okay. You got to do subscribe, rate, and review. That's the only way you'll have a chance to win. I want you to win. So that's why I'm trying to give you the instructions. I'm very clear with the instructions. You have to go on Apple. You have to search. You have to subscribe. You have to rate, and you have to review. That's the price of admission. That'll take you less than 60 seconds to do all of that for a chance to win the shirt. Okay. So we got Charles, we got Simone, we got a few other people. I'm going to give it one more minute for the Apple people, and then we will try to get a second giveaway done before we start the training. And again, for those of you that are here for the training, I'm going to be sharing with you the number one thing that top freight brokers do to get shipping customers that new and small brokers don't understand. Okay. So I said in an email that I sent out to everybody, this could be one of the most valuable tips that I give you in all of 2022. Okay. That's how important this training is. That's how monumental this training could be to your business if you follow, if you listen, if you stay tuned, and you take action on what I'm about to teach you. Okay. All right. So let's do the giveaway. All right, cool. So let's do the giveaway. I'm going to give away. So here's how I do it. I find the section where everybody subscribed, rated, and reviewed. I close my eyes. I scroll through, and then all I do is just randomly pick one person. And the winner of the t-shirt is Cynthia Diaz. Cynthia Diaz. You are the winner of the Freightpreneur t-shirt. You followed properly. You said subscribed, rated, and reviewed on Apple. Awesome. Way to go. Congratulations. Here's all you got to do. Pay attention on how to collect your prize. Go to my Freight Broker Bootcamp Facebook page, like the page, and then message me with your full name, your mailing address, and your size, and that you won the Apple Podcast Subscribe t-shirt giveaway. And I will have that shipped out to you. You'll get it in a couple of weeks, okay? You'll get it within a couple of weeks. So all you got to do is go to the Facebook page, message me your full name, your full mailing address, your size. This is a large. I weigh about 190 to 195 pounds, depending upon the day. They're all unisex sizing, so size appropriately. Name, address, size, and I will get that shipped out to you, okay? Awesome. Congratulations, Cynthia, on winning the Freightpreneur t-shirt. All right, cool. All right, do we have time for a second one? Maybe what I'll do is we'll do a second giveaway, okay? Because I want to make sure that we have time, okay? I don't think we have time. We've got less than 4 minutes. I'll do a second giveaway for everybody else after the training, but before the Q&A, Okay. So once I'm done with the training, which will probably last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes like normal at the front end. All right. We'll start that at about noon. I will do another giveaway after the training, but before the live Q&A. Okay. Is that fair? That should be fair. All right. I definitely want to make sure everybody else that's not on Apple gets a chance to win a prize. All right, cool. So between now and then, hit me up in the comments and let me know the city and state that you're logging in from. And I'll try to give some shout outs. Also, make sure you like the stream wherever you're watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching this on Facebook, hit the like button now and share the stream. Do me a favor. Let me know that you shared the stream also, and hit me up in the comments with the city and state that you're logging in from. I'll try to do some shout outs. All right. What do we got? Cool. And thank you to everybody who did play along on the giveaway. I'll try to continue to give these things away every week. Congratulations to the winner. And welcome Tamara from Martinsville, Virginia. Welcome Audrey from Greenwood, South Carolina. Welcome Ness Road from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Welcome B Grant 50 from Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome Stephen Edwards from Denver, Colorado. Thank you, Tawana Brown. Maybe we're cousins, long lost cousins, last name Brown. Rashawn Wilkerson from Kennesaw, Georgia. Cynthia Diaz, the big winner from Bakersfield, California. Derek Rice from Little Rock. Welcome. Bombay Montre from Charleston, South Carolina. I was just in Hilton Head. I was in Hilton Head not long ago on spring break. Welcome Rajinder Sandhu from Southgate, Michigan. Welcome Tawana from Detroit. Stephen from Bushkill, PA. James Brown, another Brown in the house, from Dallas, Texas. We've got a couple Facebook users, one from Pittsburgh and one from Baltimore. Blessed Logistics from Hagerstown, Maryland. Tej Sethi from Toronto, Ontario. Welcome, Tej. Radovan from Chicago. Sandra from Arlington, Texas. Ozan from Lincoln, Nebraska. We got Dimitri from Williamsburg, Virginia. We have Dawn Taylor from Akron, Ohio. John from Philadelphia. Kenya from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Tanya Robertson from Dallas, Texas. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. We're going to get started with the training in just a couple of minutes. But for those of you that are just tuning in, today I'm going to share with you the number one thing that top freight brokers do to get shippers that new and small freight brokers don't understand. This is an important lesson, okay? It's going to be relatively short, but I am going to, number one, do the training, and then after that, I'm going to do another giveaway, and then after that, I'm going to do the live Q&A. For those of you that have questions about the training today, or about how to become a freight broker or a freight agent, check out Freight Broker. You know, you can go to the hang around for the Q&A, and if you're curious about becoming a freight broker, check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com. I've trained over 10,000 students, okay? Been in business over a decade just training, not counting my brokerage experience, which started back in 2003. Did over $200 million as a freight broker myself, and we offer a 60-day, 100% unconditional money-back guarantee. So you can check that out at Freight Broker Bootcamp. Yeah, I think that should get us started. Let's give everybody a minute or two to get live. I'll take a quick drink and then we can get the ball rolling, okay? All right. Does anybody else drink Bai? It's like I'm addicted. Bai Blueberry. It's like there's no sugar. There's no artificial flavoring or any of that. Antioxidant beverage with vitamin C, plus it has caffeine. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know who else drinks Bai, but it's like I'm highly addicted. And by the way, don't buy them at the store. Buy them from Amazon. So much cheaper. Oh my God. Don't buy them from a convenience store. They're like $3. If you buy them from Amazon, they're like $1.50. They're like half price if you buy them by the case. Sorry. I just had to give that little tidbit. So we are going to get the ball rolling here in a minute. Let's give a few more people a chance to get live, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, wherever you're watching this. I truly appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and put all notifications so that you get notified every time a new video or a live comes out. And today's going to be a great training. I was thinking about this earlier. I took a bunch of notes here. Look, I got page and a half of notes here that I have to go over. So there's a lot of information, but I think I broke this down in such a way that it should be pretty easy for you to understand. Okay. And we're going to have some subsequent follow-up trainings that are going to be specifically a spinoff of this training, but this is going to kind of get you started in the right direction. Okay. Because knowing is half the battle. And I think that's one of the things that most people struggle with. Okay. Which is just understanding what it is, how big brokers, right? Top brokers are different than newer brokers, right? So beyond just having lots more revenue, what's driving that revenue? What's allowing them to grow so fast? What's allowing them to retain their clients? What's allowing them to be highly profitable? Some of the freight brokers in the country right now are posting record profits, okay? Literally record profits for Q4 and Q1, okay? So it's been incredible. And there's some things that you have to do. They're a little bit different. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. All right. So, all right, let's get the ball rolling. Everybody else is going to catch this on replay. I know that a lot of people can't attend this in the middle of the day. For you, if you're here live, I want to thank you. For those of you that are part of my replay crew and catching this on replay, hit me up in the comments with #replay. I truly appreciate you being here, and I love to hear from you. Okay. All right. So today I'm going to share with you the number one thing that freight brokers do to get shippers and shipping clients that new and small brokers don't understand. All right. So we all understand the need to sell. You have to learn how to sell. But there's another side of the coin that you have to understand and you have to learn if you truly want to grow and thrive as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, and most certainly as a freight broker. And that is you have to invest in marketing. Okay. There's a difference between sales and marketing. Yes, they work together and they're directly in line with one another and goals have a lot of crossover, but sales and marketing are different. So yes, you have to learn how to sell, but you also have to learn how to market. Okay. Most new and small freight brokers invest in sales, right? They invest in learning how to sell, or they invest in the sales process, right? But they don't understand the value of marketing and how to leverage it to get and retain customers, right? So if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you the top 3 freight broker marketing strategies for 2022 and beyond, okay? These are 3 of my favorite marketing strategies that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a quick view of what those exactly look like. But before we do that, I want to explain to you the difference between sales and marketing, because they are different. Okay. So sales is the process and the activities that lead to someone buying a product or service. Things like cold calling and cold emailing and social selling and using LinkedIn to do outreach and sales demonstrations and providing freight quotes and overcoming objections and retaining clients. Those are sales activities, right? That falls into the category of sales. That's the reason why I put together what I call my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program, which is where I take that piece of my brain all about sales and acquiring customers, and I put it into a 5-week coaching program called my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. Now, I release that program from time to time. And as a matter of fact, it's going to be reopening for enrollment in the next 30 days. So if you want to learn more about that, if you want to be the first to get notified when that opens for enrollment, because I limit it to the first 100 people to enroll, all you got to do is go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. This is going to put you on the wait list, and you will immediately get notified when the enrollment opens so you can get all the details and you can enroll right away. Again, we've had hundreds of students go through that program just since last year. And the rating, 1 out of 10, 1 being horrible, 10 being the best, the average rating is a 9.5 plus. Okay. So I can't stress this enough. If you need help with sales, make sure you get on the wait list for the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. All you got to do is go to freeprogrambootcamp.com/waitlist. Okay, so that's the sales side. Now let's talk about the marketing side. Okay, marketing is where you are creating awareness and you are educating your target market about your brand, about your company, and about the services that you offer. So this is where you are creating awareness and you're helping to educate and to create interest with your target market about your service. So for example, types of marketing, you have online marketing, you have social media marketing, you have print marketing, you have email marketing, you have television advertising. Those are all different forms of marketing, right? Kind of large at the macro level of marketing. Okay, I'm going to break those down a little bit more for you, and I'm going to give you the 3 top marketing strategies. But before I do that, the goal of marketing, again, is to create awareness, right? And so the way that marketing works is it helps to support sales in 2 primary ways. The number one way that it helps support sales is to generate inbound leads from the target market. So inbound leads where potential customers are inquiring about your service, and then those leads get handed off to a salesperson, and that salesperson then follows up with the objective of selling and closing the sale. Okay, so the number one way is inbound lead generation. Okay, that's one of the primary ways that marketing supports sales. The second way that they support is by creating brand awareness and familiarity and trust within your target market. So if someone in your target market, if a prospective customer in your target market had seen some of your marketing previously, but before they had spoken to a salesperson, that helps to build trust. That helps to build credibility. That helps to enhance the opportunity for the salesperson when they do outreach via LinkedIn or via email or over the phone or face-to-face or however they choose to, whatever strategy they choose for sales. Okay. So the reason why I share this with you is because sales and marketing work together, and one without the other is an incomplete picture and an incomplete puzzle. And the difference between top freight brokers and new and small brokers is that top freight brokers understand the power of having both investing in sales and investing in marketing, where most new freight brokers and small freight brokers really only invest in sales. And a lot of times they don't even do a great job at that. And that's part of the reason why I put that Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program together. And again, I highly suggest you get on the wait list. Just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. It's absolutely free to get on the wait list. The training is not free and it's not cheap, but it'll be worth 10x whatever we charge for it. Okay. So I explained to you that investing in marketing is one of the biggest things that top freight brokers do that small brokers don't. I explained to you the difference between sales and marketing. I explained to you how marketing benefits and supports sales. Now I'm going to share with you 3 of my top marketing strategies for 2022. Okay. Number 1, these are in no discernible order, but number 1 on the list is content marketing and SEO. Now, what do I mean by that? Content marketing, for example, is having a blog or having a podcast or creating video content and putting it out on YouTube, right? So those are examples of content marketing. You are creating content. This Freight Broker Bootcamp Live is an example of content marketing, right? I'm not directly selling, but I'm educating and I'm providing information that's valuable to my target market, which is you, in an effort to create awareness, build trust, and then eventually you may decide to get involved and purchase or enroll in one of my trainings. So content marketing and SEO, that's number 1. So you can do that in a variety of different ways. The most popular ways, the most well-known ways, the most profitable ways are, again, creating some sort of a blog off your website, creating a podcast, which is an audio version of the content, and or a video, creating video type content on YouTube. Okay. So content marketing and SEO, the reason why the content marketing and SEO are bundled together is because Google and Bing and the major search engines out there love new content. So whenever you create new content, They index that content, and then that content gets ranked in the search engines. And if your content gets ranked, it can drive free traffic to your website. Okay. So if somebody searches for flatbed freight in Buffalo, New York, and you have content that's been ranked organically by Google and your number one ranking, that's going to drive content. That's going to drive prospective customers and prospects to your website, which they can then get educated on that content and then possibly become an inbound lead, whether they call you or message you for more information. So that's a perfect example of how content and SEO work, okay? That's number one. And there's a variety of different types of content marketing. I'm going to probably do some subsequent follow-up trainings that are going to dive into those a little bit more, okay? Number two is email marketing. Now, email marketing, in my opinion, is one of the most profitable and one of the most valuable forms of marketing. And the way this works is you're not spamming people, but you are leveraging email to develop and nurture the relationship with a prospective customer or an existing customer. So for example, how that might work is you would create a piece of content and you would offer some sort of a giveaway. Say you created, like I've done in the past, I created a video, 7 steps to becoming a freight broker, and you could watch that entire training. But if you wanted to download the cheat sheet or the summary of that training, you would opt in via email. So you would give me your email address. I would then send you that cheat sheet or that summary. And then in exchange for you getting that additional value, I get your email address and I will be able to follow up email you. Many people that became a part of my training and many of the people that are probably watching this video right now are a part of my email list. So then we take that email and then we continue to nurture that relationship by providing them value. It's not always selling, meaning we're not always asking them to do freight quotes or asking them for orders or asking them to buy, but we are providing them value to build trust, to build awareness, and to continue that relationship so that we can nurture it to the point where they know, like, and trust us enough to give us an opportunity to maybe do a freight quote or to set up a meeting over the phone. Okay. So email marketing, not only a one-time email marketing, but ongoing email marketing where you're nurturing and developing those relationships is one of the most powerful, simple ways to generate new customers. Okay. And that's something that large brokers understand. Most small brokers don't even have an opt-in email list or a way for people to get on that list. Okay. All right, so that's number two. Number three is paid online advertising. So we all know Google and Bing and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all of these big sites, right? These big hubs, these big communities. The way they make their money, one of the primary ways they make their money is through online advertising. So let's take Google, for example. Google has made their money, a lot of their money, and has grown into a multi-billion dollar organization, okay? A huge organization, one of the largest companies in the world through pay-per-click advertising. So if you want your ad to appear at the top of the search results, at the very top of the search results, Google is willing to do that for you in exchange for you paying them for every click that one of their users, every time one of their users clicks on the ad to go through to your website, that's called pay-per-click advertising, right? So that's an example of online advertising. That's an example of pay-per-click advertising in particular. But the top places that I would recommend that you pursue paid advertising to generate leads and create awareness and to start a dialogue with your prospects is Google, Bing, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Yes, you can also do Facebook, but I think that would be a distant fifth, right? So again, I'll go over them again. Google, Bing, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Those are probably the 5 biggest platforms where I think you would get the biggest ROI for your, the return on investment for your advertising dollars, okay? So those 3 again, number 1, content marketing and SEO. Number 2, email marketing. And number 3, paid online advertising. Like I said to you before, if you want to grow a highly successful business, you need to start investing not only in sales, but you also need to start investing in marketing. Both require different skills. And again, that's the reason why I put together the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program. You can get on the wait list at freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist, but that teaches the entire sales process. That takes this piece of my brain and transplants it into your head, and we help you implement that to grow your business. But marketing, there's lots of places where you can go to learn marketing, right? You can go to different blogs, you can go to different podcasts, you can go to different YouTube channels. B2B marketing is a completely different strategy, but sales and marketing both work together. I want to stress that to you. And even as a small broker, yes, you might not have a big budget, but you need to take a part of the profit that you're generating and reinvest it into marketing. You need to start that flywheel. You need to start your blog. You need to start creating content. You need to start experimenting with some paid ads. And I think you'll be shocked at the long-term results, and not only what it's going to generate for you in inbound leads, but how it's going to help support your sales efforts. Okay. So again, to get on the wait list for Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. You'll be the first to get notified when that program opens up in the next 30 days. If you're just getting started and you're looking to become a freight broker or a freight agent and you need some help, you need me to hold your hand and walk you through that entire process, just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com. We've trained over 10,000 students, been in business over a decade, and we offer a 60-day, 100% unconditional money-back guarantee. So I can't make it much easier than that. Listen, thank you so much for being here. If you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you click subscribe and hit the bell to make sure you get notified. And I'll see you next week with another Freight Broker Bootcamp Live. All right, thank you. Hey, that went pretty quick. It took us about 15 minutes for that training. I hope that makes sense to you, okay? We're going to do a quick giveaway, and then we're going to do some Q&A. But let me grab a quick drink. Did that make sense? Hit me up in the comments here if you guys understand what I'm driving at with this sales and marketing and how they work together and the importance of both, okay? Because most new brokers, new or small brokers just truly don't understand the power or the value associated with marketing. So that's the reason why I put those my three favorite marketing strategies together: content marketing and SEO, email marketing, and then of course, paid online advertising. So does it make sense? Hit me up in the comments. And then again, we're going to do a quick giveaway, and then we will dive into live Q&A. All right, so what do we got? As a broker. Okay, hold off on the questions for now because I'm going to do the giveaway real quick for everybody else, and then we'll do the Q&A. If you put the questions in now, your question is going to get lost, and I'm probably never going to answer it. So hold your questions because we are going to do Q&A. But first, I'm going to do a quick giveaway. I'm going to give away another shirt, okay? Who here wants a chance to win a Freightpreneur t-shirt? Someone who solves problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand. Let me know in the comments if you want a chance to win the shirt. You say, yes, I want to win the shirt. Hit me up in the comments and let me know that you want to win the shirt. And then if we have enough interest, then maybe I'll do another giveaway. If not, then I'll just jump into Q&A. Okay, so we got a few people. All right, cool. Let's see what else we got. We got Tanya, Frank, Rajinder, Jay, Frank, Sandra. Okay, so I think we got enough people that are interested. Here's all you got to do. This is going to be really simple. This is for anybody. You can be an Apple user, Android user, desktop user, doesn't matter, okay? So here's all you got to do. I'm actually going to put the URL up on the screen so you guys can see it. Okay, here's all you got to do. Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Freight Brokers. If you go on YouTube and you type in Freight Broker Bootcamp, you'll see my bald, shiny head. Go to the channel, and I want you to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and then make sure you hit the link to get notified of all videos. Get all notifications. So you got to click the bell to make sure that you get notified, okay? Subscribing isn't enough. You have to click that notification bell to ensure that you get notified of any future lives, any other videos that I release, because I release new content on my YouTube channel every single week above and beyond this live. So if you do that, then come back in here into the comments and let me know that you subscribed on YouTube. Just say I subscribed on YouTube. Let me know that you did that. And then that's going to enter you to win a chance to win the Freightpreneur t-shirt. Okay. All right, cool. Ness did it. B Grant hit the bell. Okay. Just let me know. Make sure subscribed on YouTube. Important. If you don't have that in your comments, then I can't pick you as a winner because you got to follow instructions. I got to make it fair for everybody. Okay. All right. So Kenya, if you have support questions, just send a message to support at freightbrokerbootcamp.com. So I got to do. Support is from 9 until 3, Monday through Friday. We don't do weekends. So if you send it over the weekend, it'll get caught up and responded to today. Typically it takes 24 to 48 hours to respond for support. Okay, so we got a bunch of people subscribing on YouTube. Awesome. Not surprised. All right, so we're going to give it one more minute for people to subscribe on YouTube. Then I'm going to pick a winner. And then we're going to go into Q&A. Hold your questions until we start the Q&A, okay? All right. All right, cool. So here we go. All right. So I'm going to scroll down through, close my eyes, randomly pick one person. And the winner is James Brown. Probably a long lost relative, family member. James Brown, you are the big winner of the Freightpreneur t-shirt. Congratulations. Here's all you got to do to collect your prize. Go to the Freight Broker Bootcamp Facebook page. Like the page and then message me with your full name. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Your full name, your mailing address, your size, and let me know that you won the YouTube subscribe t-shirt contest, the t-shirt giveaway, okay? Full name, address, size, and that you won the YouTube subscribe t-shirt contest. And I will make sure that gets out to you this week. You'll get it within a couple weeks once everything's processed. Thank you so much for playing along. Congratulations, James, for winning. Thank you, everybody else who subscribed. You're also a winner. I promise you there is over 100 free Freight Broker training videos on that channel. Okay. So you definitely won. Plus, I'm going to create new content every single week when I don't have COVID, of course. I apologize for the hiccup a couple weeks ago when I was sick, but pretty much every single week we put new content out here on not only Facebook, but on YouTube. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. Congratulations. Thanks everybody for subscribing. Great. All right. So now we're going to jump into the Q&A. If you have questions about today's training, whether it relates to marketing or whether it relates to sales, or if you have questions about the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, which is going to be launching soon, or if you have questions about Freight Broker Bootcamp, which is my startup program that over 10,000 students have went through. If you have questions about any of that, hit me up in the comments and I will do my absolute best to try to answer those questions. Here's what I know. I will not get to all of your questions. I can never get to all your questions because in one of these lives, I usually get 50 or more questions. Okay. So yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get to all your questions. I will get to as many as I can. I'll also try to come back in later in the week and respond in the thread. And if not, you can come back next week and try to ask your question then. You're always welcome. Okay. All right. So what questions do we have? Hey, Frank from Rochester. Welcome. I live in Clarence, just outside of Buffalo. Lifelong resident here in Western New York. Sometimes much to my own chagrin. I sometimes wish I'd moved away a long time ago, but I'm here. I'm married with family and there's no getting out now. Frank, can I shadow you for 48 hours? I don't know why you'd want to because I'm not a freight broker anymore. I sold my freight brokerage in 2016. I started it in 2003, did over $200 million in sales, sold it in 2016. My day to you would be so boring and unproductive that I don't think you would enjoy it because my business has changed now. The training business is very different than the freight brokerage business, right? So don't think it'd be a good fit. Okay, so Am Phillips says, total authority received, bonded and all, launching today. I'm going to start with TLTs. What do you think? TLTs. I'm not sure about what's TLTs. Are you talking about LTL? Are you talking about something else? Amb, hit me back with the clarification on what you're trying to do. Rephrase the question because I'm not sure I understand. All right, so here's a question from Roshan. How soon should a new broker invest in marketing, and should I focus on sales first? Well, there are different types of marketing. One of the things that you should do early in your business is you should develop and launch a website. Website is a part of your marketing efforts because here's what's going to happen. And it directly complements your sales effort. Because let's say, for example, Rashawn, you're one of my prospects. I call you up. We have a good conversation and we schedule a follow-up call, or maybe you ask me for a freight quote. One of the first things that you're going to do before you move forward, right after we get off the phone, is you're going to go on Google or you're going to search for me and my company. Because if I don't have a website, or you can't find my name on LinkedIn or find any information about my company or myself online in an independent search that you're going to do, it's going to probably close the door because I'm going to instantly lose credibility, because what business doesn't have a website in 2022? So developing and launching a website is probably the first part of any successful marketing efforts, at least in today's age, because most everything is done online. Shippers are educating themselves independently online even before they talk to salespeople, right? So if they're looking for something specific or they have a need, they go to Google first. They go to LinkedIn first. They go to these different resources and they search for that information to do their due diligence before they ever talk to a salesperson. So my suggestion to you is you could start your efforts right away on marketing, and that would come in the form of a website. Now, from the website, you are going to then possibly start doing content marketing, which is writing articles or launching a podcast or creating videos. You're going to be creating content. That would probably be the next most logical step. From there, you're going to start generating emails, right? You're going to start generating an email list, an opt-in email list that you can then send an email to once a week as a way to touch them, educate them, build trust, and build that awareness. The last step that most new and startup freight brokers are going to take is going to be the paid online advertising. Because number one, it's the most complicated. Number two, it can be very expensive if you don't know what you're doing. And so I think marketing would probably go in that order for a new startup. So I hope that helps. Okay, Ness Road asks, what should I start, as a freight agent or a freight broker? Well, it's not for me to tell you how to start, but I can tell you this. If you don't have any experience in logistics and you don't have any customers and you're starting like I did back in 2003, you had no experience, okay, and you had no customers and no carriers, I would strongly suggest that you start as a freight agent. The reason why is because, number one, it's way less expensive to get started as an agent. You're talking hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars. Number two, there's way less risk. And number three, it's way easier, because if you can't make money as a freight agent, I promise you're not going to make money as a freight broker. So that's part of the reason why I put together Freight Broker Bootcamp. It covers both sides. There's not two different trainings. There's not one for agents and one for brokers, because there's so much crossover and most people don't understand where they want to start as an agent or a broker. I put the one program together, which is what I call my Freight Broker Bootcamp. And that's where you can learn the entire process, because if you become an agent, you may want to become a broker later and you don't want to purchase another course just to do that. So we teach the entire process A to Z. So if you have no experience and you have no background in it, starting as an agent is a great way to start. My average agent, the last year I had the business, it made over $107,000 in commission, and most of them worked from home. My top agents made over $100,000 a month in profit, commissions right in their pocket. Okay. So I'm not promising you anything, and I can't promise you you're going to make $1. I can't promise you anything, but here's what I can promise you. Starting as an agent is one of the least expensive, least risky, and can be highly, highly profitable. Now, if you have some experience, go ahead and you might want to consider starting as a freight brokerage. Maybe you were a truck driver. Maybe you worked in a brokerage for TQL. Maybe you have a family business, maybe that's in and around logistics. Sure. I think that's a great idea. Go get your freight broker bond, go get your authority and get things rolling. I think either one of those ways are great, but the least risky, least expensive version of that is to start as an agent. Okay. You're talking about next to nothing as far as cost and risk to get started. So I hope that helps, Ness. Okay, so Sandra asks, I don't understand the paid online advertising. Could you explain a little bit more? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. When you go to Google, google.com, and you're searching for something, let's say, for example, you're searching for healthy drinks, okay? Healthy drinks. I'm just a hypothetical. When you go and search Google for healthy drinks, Google is going to give you, for that term, Google is going to give you millions of results back, search results back of content and websites that they've indexed in their system that they are going to give you based on relevant. They're going to index and they're going to show you those results. And it's for you to go through and sort through those results, read all those results, and then make a decision on to which healthy drink you want. My healthy drink is Bai. Okay. So as a part of those results, above the organic results that you can sort through, there is a space at the top of that page that is set aside for online advertising, for paid advertisers. If I were the company that owned Bai Drinks, I would then pay Google to put an ad at the top of those search results where every time somebody clicked on that ad, they might charge me 50 cents or $1 or $2. And then that click would go through to my website where I talked all about the healthy Bai drink. And then that person would then either purchase the drink or would leverage that information. Maybe they purchase it online, or maybe they go to their local supermarket and they'd buy it. But ultimately, that's how paid online advertising works. It works the same way for freight brokers. If you have a shipping manager or a logistics manager or a shipper or a warehouse manager that needs help and they're looking for flatbed trucks in Buffalo, New York, and they type that into the search bar in Google, Google is going to bring back all those organic results of people that have created content online, and then they're going to rank those, and the person can go through all those organic results. But above that, there's going to be somebody in the trucking and or logistics or freight brokerage industry that's going to place an ad at the top. And every time that ad gets clicked, they're going to get charged, but it's going to bring them through to their website where that person that clicked on the ad can then request additional information, can request a quote, can then call them. And then that's how the marriage is made. Okay. So the goal of online advertising for freight brokers is typically to create awareness and to generate inbound leads. Because if I were that shipper, I did that search, I went through to your website and I requested a freight quote for flatbeds from Buffalo to Atlanta, and then you got that freight quote, you could then reach out to me as a salesperson, have a conversation with me, provide me a freight quote, and now you have an opportunity to do business with me. Whereas prior to that, I didn't even know you existed. Because in the world of the internet, that search result is going to bring back hundreds of thousands, if not millions of results. So it puts you at the very top of that search result, which makes you extremely relevant. And it's going to create a much better opportunity for people to find you, okay? And for you to get customers that way. So I hope that helps. I mean, I'm trying to break it down for you, but that's an example of how Google advertising works. Social media like LinkedIn and Twitter and other things like LinkedIn, for example, if you do advertising on LinkedIn, which is a lot more expensive, but can be highly targeted, you can actually place ads on LinkedIn that are only going to be viewed by logistics managers, shipping managers, warehouse managers. So you can actually target your ads based on the title of the users that are on the platform. So how amazing is that? If you knew you only wanted to put your ad in front of shipping managers, you can actually do that. Shipping managers, warehouse managers, logistics managers, transportation managers, those are the only people that are going to see your ad. That's another example of online advertising. And you would have to pay a fee to put that ad on the LinkedIn network. And then anytime somebody clicked on that ad, it would either gather a lead or bring them through the website or whatever the case may be. And the objective is to generate a lead for you that you can then follow up with and hopefully convert into a customer. So I hope that helps. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's a question from Ozan. A little off-topic question. Can I have my wife as a partner to use her credit score to apply trust, bond, and other relevant payments to start my business? Absolutely, yes. You can absolutely use your wife's credit. If she has very good credit, well, so for example, she has a 750 credit score and you have a 600 credit score, you're definitely going to want to use her credit. You can make her a partner on the business. The fact is, if she's your wife, she's your partner anyway. So there's no negative to putting her on the business because she owns 50% of it anyway. So yeah, so there's no problem with that. Yeah, I think that would be a smart strategy to keep your bond costs down, because for those of you that don't understand, the better your credit it is, the lower your bond cost is. The worse your credit is, the higher your bond cost is. It doesn't mean you won't get approved, but someone with really good credit might only pay $900 a year for a bond. Somebody with really bad credit might pay $9,000 a year for a bond. Okay. So that's just giving you an example, but I think that's a good question, a good strategy. Okay. So Radovan asks, thanks for the help. It's a good idea to team. Is it a good idea to team up with established carriers or truck driver schools if I have the chance? I think it's smart to do both. Truck driver training schools are going to be teaching new drivers how to pass their CDL and get their CDL. So yeah, I think that might be a smart thing to do. And teaming up with established carriers, obviously that's always a smart thing to do if it's specific to your niche, right? So if you're in the flatbed niche and you're networking with a bunch of van carriers, it's probably not going to be very profitable, right? Or productive. But if you're networking and communicating and developing relationships with flatbed carriers that can help support your customers, then I think that makes total sense. So both of those could work. I would say focusing on an established carrier is going to be more profitable, is going to have a shorter life cycle for being profitable and having that be a valuable relationship. But having relationships with new carriers and new drivers is probably not a bad investment of time either, but I would probably choose the established carriers first. Okay, so here's a question from Rajinder. Question about becoming an agent. What is the risk to an agent if a shipper doesn't pay? How does that affect the agent? Okay, so if you're a freight agent working under a freight broker, okay, there's a couple different ways it can work. The freight broker gets the freight agent gets the customer and submits the customer to the freight broker, and the freight broker then runs credit and manages that financial part of the relationship. So they invoice and they collect. Some freight brokers will have, most freight brokers are going to say that in the event that the shipper does not pay their bill, you as the broker or you as the agent will have to pay back any commissions that have been advanced to you. That's how it will work in most cases. And it's only fair, because if the broker doesn't get paid by the shipper for whatever reason, then the agent shouldn't be compensated either. But what happens is, in a lot of times in freight brokerage, freight brokers will pay agents before the shipper pays them. So for example, most shippers are going to pay somewhere in 30 to 45 days, but most brokers are going to pay agents within 1 to 2 weeks after invoicing. So in the event that the broker advanced you your commissions, and then a couple months down the road, that shipper decided they weren't going to pay the bill for whatever reason, that broker should have the right to be able to charge back only the commissions that you paid or that they paid you. You're not going to have to pay back the full amount of the bill, because that's really not your responsibility. But you will have to pay back any commissions that have been advanced to you. So does that make sense? I hope that helps. I was a little confusing, but I think I closed the loop on that one. I think it makes sense. I'm just scrolling through looking for questions. Bear with me. Give me a minute. Okay, so here's a question from Simon. He says, I'm interested in this because I'm now 15 trucks deep. Congratulations. And I have customers approaching me all the time to be a direct carrier. What are your thoughts on, I think he meant asset-based brokerage. Okay, so my thoughts on asset-based brokerage are, if you are already a trucking company and you're operating profitably as an asset-based trucking company, I think the most logical next step is to start a brokerage, because what that brokerage allows you to do, for example, Simon has 15 trucks, okay? So that means at any given time, he can only be handling 15 loads because he's only got 15 trucks, so he can only be handling 15 shipments. Let's say, for example, that Simon had all those trucks loaded and they're moving and he's making money on all those trucks. And then some of his customers call him and say, hey, listen, I have another load that I need you to pick up today, or I have another load that I need you to pick up tomorrow. But he doesn't have any trucks available in his own fleet. If he had his own brokerage, he would then be able to outsource that to another carrier because he's now a broker. So even though he can't put it on his own trucks, the advantage of being a broker is to be able to outsource that to other carriers. Now, there's some misconception. If you are a carrier, you cannot legally broker loads to another carrier if you have a carrier authority. But if you're a carrier and you want to put loads not only on your own trucks, but you also want to broker to other trucks, you have to have your freight broker authority. The process is different. The legal requirements is different. The bonding is different. Everything is different. Okay. Now, of course, it's still dealing with the same type of freight. And the same goes for brokers. If you're a broker, you cannot haul a load on any trucks that you may own unless you have your carrier authority. Right? But you can have both your carrier authority and your broker authority, which optimizes the opportunity. Now, the next logical question is going to be, all right, I'm a broker. Should I get trucks? Here's the thing. If you're a broker, I would not rush into getting trucks because it's a lot harder to make money as a carrier than it is as a broker. There's a lot of fixed and variable expense that you don't understand. So I wouldn't, as a broker, rush into getting trucks. But if you're a carrier that's already operating a profitable asset-based company, asset-based trucking company, I think it only makes sense to set up a brokerage as a way to add additional revenue. Let's think about it this way. If all you did was add 2 loads a week to your business that you were brokering outside of your asset-based, and let's just do the math. And it's not an exact science here, but let's say, for example, the average load was $1,500 invoice to the shipper, and you did 2 loads a week. That's 3,000 loads, $3,000 a week times 52 weeks. I'm not very good at math, but that's an extra $156,000 in revenue. If you're making 20% margins on that, that's an extra $31,200 in your pocket for simply setting up your brokerage authority and then leveraging your brokerage to help support your existing customers. So that would just be a very simple way of doing it. Again, that $31,000 could go a long way to helping pay for drivers and fuel and truck payments, and if you want to invest in trailers or whatever the case may be. So I think adding a brokerage to an existing trucking company that's operating profitably makes a ton of sense. So I hope that helps. Patty Anders asks, can you give me some tips to write a good proposal for a shipper? Here's the thing. Proposals really aren't necessary. Everybody overcomplicates this proposal. When you're talking to a shipper on the phone, the buying signal that you're looking for and the end result that you're looking for after you've developed some rapport and after you've established that relationship is you're going to want to start providing them some sort of freight quotes that are specific to their needs. So the proposal that a freight broker provides a shipper is really simple. It comes with 2 main components. One is the pricing and the other is availability and capacity. So they're going to ask you, what is your rate and how many of these trucks can you provide me per day, per week, per month? So you want to focus your rate quotes and your proposals around those two main variables. Okay. And that's going to require you to do some research. You're going to have to look on the load boards. You're going to have to talk to some carriers. You're going to have to do your due diligence about the type of equipment and the lanes and the specific needs that that shipper has. And then you're going to provide that information back to them. That is nothing good can happen for you as a broker until you cross that bridge, until you provide that freight quote so that they can then start having a conversation with you in a negotiation on whether that rate is going to work for them or whether you need to negotiate that rate. You're going to need to justify the expense, that rate. Maybe it's a little bit more expensive than their existing provider, but you can also provide additional capacity and other services that are going to help support them. So I hope that helps. My suggestion to you is keep it very, very simple. Most freight quotes come in the form of like an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Doc, and it is sent via email. So keep it very, very simple and keep it very specific to their needs. Okay, hope that helps. So here's a question from a Facebook user. For the bond payment, are you paying that in one payment or monthly? Depends on the bonding company. Some bonding companies will require you to pay that up front. Some bonding companies will allow you to pay it quarterly. Some bonding companies are going to require you to pay, or you can pay it monthly. Every bonding company is a little different, but what I find is usually depending upon the size of the bond cost, it's either upfront or quarterly. Some will allow you to do it monthly. You just really need to kind of figure that out. If you guys are looking for help with getting your bond as a freight broker, Freight Broker Bootcamp has partnered with one of the top bonding agencies in the country. We have partnered with them. We've known these guys for a long time. They've helped hundreds of our students with getting bonds. They've helped bond thousands and thousands of different freight brokers. All you got to do is go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/bond, and that will allow you to submit some information to them. They're then going to get back to you with some quotes and information specific to helping you get a bond if you're a new freight broker or even as an established freight broker. The feedback that I've gotten has been incredible on the turnaround. They've been very responsive and the prices have been very, very good, very, very competitive. Okay. So if you're looking for a freight broker bond, you can check that out at freightbrokerbootcamp.com/bond. Submit the form and they will get back to you. You guys can start having some conversations about what it's going to cost you and strategies to try to keep your bond costs down. Okay. So I hope that helps. All right. Couple more questions here. No, freight agents and is a freight agent and dispatcher the same? No, freight agents and dispatchers are very different. We don't teach dispatching. Dispatchers work for carriers, and what they do is they just go to load boards and get loads from brokers. Okay. The challenge is there's some legality issues, and it's a gray area as to whether dispatchers are actually legal or not, independent dispatchers, because many people feel that it is unauthorized brokering without an authority. Now, if you get your freight broker authority and you also have you're now dispatching, that's a little different because now you have a license by the FMCSA saying that you can, you can manage freight and you can work with carriers and shippers. But as a independent dispatcher without a broker authority, I wouldn't recommend that. But the dispatchers, again, the core difference between an agent and a dispatcher, dispatchers work with carriers to find them brokered loads. Agents work directly with shippers and then have a partner that's a broker that they then move that freight and help manage that freight directly for shippers. So the difference is who their target market is and how they get their freight and the opportunity as a whole. The opportunity to become a freight agent or freight broker is much, much larger from a scale perspective. There's a lot more opportunity to make money as a broker or an agent than there is as just a dispatcher. Okay. Okay. So Vadim asks, how do you approach a logistics manager after they say they're not interested on LinkedIn? Well, a couple of things to consider. Number one is just because somebody isn't interested today doesn't mean they're not going to be interested in 30, 60, or 90 days. So no matter whether they're saying it over email, over the phone, or over LinkedIn, if they're telling you they're not interested means I'm not interested today, not that I may never be interested down the road. So my suggestion to you is whenever you hear no or not interested, always schedule them for a follow-up. Now, you shouldn't call them the next day. You probably shouldn't call them the next week. but 30, 60, 90 days follow up to contact that person and to take a slightly different approach the second time versus how you approach them the first time, to try to customize that approach based upon what you learned and what you've been able to decipher from the conversations you've had and from the information you can gather in the sales intelligence. I think that makes total sense. Now, if someone's told you they're not interested on LinkedIn, again, I think the follow-up, I think you should still follow. If you've qualified that prospect has significant potential value for your business, I think you should follow up down the road. If they said no to you on LinkedIn, that means they're actually using LinkedIn. So that may be a good channel to follow up with them down the road. Or maybe you do email, or maybe you do the phone. But I don't think just because they told you no one time means no forever. So I would definitely follow up with them. But again, I wouldn't be overly pushy. I would not spam them over and over again every week or every month even. But I would schedule a follow-up to make sure that I stayed in front of that person, because trust me, sometimes it's just pure timing. When they have a challenge and you present a solution, that you're to the victor goes the spoils. So I hope that helps. Okay, so here's a question from Ahmed. I personally know one shipper and they promised to offer me to ship their freight. How can I approach this opportunity? Well, it sounds to me like you've already had a conversation with them at some point in the past. So I would simply follow up with them and let them know, hey, remember when we spoke 3 months ago? I've now got my freight broker authority, or I'm now a freight agent working for XYZ company. And I'd love to set up a time to have a conversation with you to see how exactly I might be able to help you with your freight needs. And then you schedule a call. And then from there, when you schedule that call, now at that point, you've got to continue to develop that relationship. You've got to identify a need. You then have to fill that need, right? So there's a process there of what's called sales, right? So you're still going to have to sell. Just because they said that they're going to give you a chance to quote their freight or a chance to possibly move their freight doesn't mean you don't need to sell value. Doesn't mean you don't need to sell yourself. Doesn't mean you don't need to continue to enhance and develop that relationship. That's part of the reason why I put together my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator program. I teach you the entire process from mindset to filling your funnel, to overcoming objections, to customer retention, to leveraging technology. I put that whole thing, I took that whole piece of my brain and I transplanted into your head in a 5-week hybrid program where not only do you have an online course, but you also get me as your personal coach. So if you guys are curious and you want to learn more about winning freight broker sales strategies in 2022, check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. Let me put it up on the screen. If I can find it, there it is right there. Go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. It's absolutely free to get on the wait list. The training is not free. The training is not even cheap, but it'll be worth 10x whatever you pay for it. Okay. Again, the ratings that we've gotten, we've put hundreds of students have went through this program. We've got tons of great reviews. The average ranking from 1 to 10, 1 meaning this is the worst program they ever took, 10 meaning this is the best program. We ranked a 9.5 plus after having hundreds of students go through this program. Okay. So this is the absolute best program I have ever put together, hands down. Okay. This is going to have the biggest impact on your business. It's the one that is going to absolutely take your business from startup to doing $1 million, or from $1 million to $2 or $3 million. Or if you're doing $5 million, you can leverage this to go to 10 or 20 million plus. And all you got to do is follow those as strategies. And the best way to do that is to start by getting on the wait list. That way you'll get notified when I launch the program. I am going to be launching this program in the next 30 days, but I'm going to limit the program to 100 people, and it will sell out. Last time it sold out, I think in 3 days. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think it sold out in 3 days last time. I have had this program sell out in 24 hours. Okay. So if you're not on the wait list, you're never going to get a chance to enroll in this program. So I urge you, get on the wait list. It's absolutely free to get on the wait list. freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. Okay. All right, so I'm scrolling through. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here's a question from Focused Productions. I have a solid book now, 17 to 20,000 gross margin per month. Congratulations. What's the best way to expand? More customers or bringing on more agents that have a book of business already? I'm a 1099 agent and have my own LLC. Here's my suggestion to you. My suggestion to you is do more of what has already worked for you. Let me say that again. Whatever has worked for you up to this point, if you're doing 17 to 20,000 a month in gross margin as an agent, that means you're probably making 50 to 70% of that, right? So you're making, all right, so let's say we say it's 20,000 a month in gross margin, and you say you're getting 60% of that. That's $12,000 a month in commission you're making as an agent, just as a hypothetical based on the numbers you gave me, okay? You might be making more, you might be making slightly less, but let's call it $12,000 a month in profit. Why would you then change the strategy that got you to where you are? Don't change the strategy. Keep doing what you're doing. Now, if you were going direct and say you were using cold calling or cold emailing or LinkedIn or some strategy you learned from my Freight Broker Sales Accelerator or whatever the case may be, continue to do what got you where you are because you're doing extremely well. You've got a profitable business and you're growing. You want to grow faster. So here's my suggestion to you. If you are the one who's doing all the customer acquisition and you're doing the outreach and you're developing those customer relationships and you're struggling with growing because now you don't have enough time to prospect, here's what I suggest. Hire an operations person, hire a dispatcher to come in and help you source the trucks and negotiate with trucks and dispatch trucks and help you with rating while you continue to go out and get new customers. Why would you change the process? I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't change the process. Continue to do what's working for you. Now, if you started the business and then you started growing because you hired some new agents and you brought those agents on and those agents are now doing well and you're making money and they're making money, continue to do that because it's already working. My point is, don't try to change your business strategy when your strategy is working. Okay? All you need to do is tweak it a little bit in order to scale that business up even further. So I hope that helps. And Focus Production, hit me up with a message on Facebook and maybe, we'll have a quick conversation. Maybe I could have you on as a success story, someone who's built a successful freight agency and is looking to scale. Maybe we could do a quick interview. I do have past students and people that I've worked with in the past to come on here and, and help answer questions and help inspire others. Hit me up with a message on Facebook and let me know if that's something you might want to chat about. Congrats. How do you get access to the No Cold Calling course? Well, I'm going to give you a hint. Okay. As a part of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, which is going to be launching very soon. In the past, I included the No Cold Calling course as a bonus for people that enrolled in the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. Wink, wink. Okay, there's a hint. So my suggestion to you is get on the wait list for the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, and there's a good probability that may be something that I include in for people that act fast and enroll in the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator. Okay. So I did that in the past. I can't promise you anything right now, but I can tell you that people absolutely love that bonus. And it may be something that I include in the next launch of the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, which is going to happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. Hope that helps. Wilmar Gallart asks, what factoring companies work with new brokers? There are several, but the one that most of the students are pointing to these days and they really enjoy working with is Axle Payments. Search for Axle, A-X-L-E. I think it's axlepayments.com or Axle Factoring, Freight Factoring. They do work with new brokers, okay? And I've heard they're very, very good to work with. So that would be my recommendation to you. So here's a good question from Johnny Harris. When you mention ongoing emails as a part of the marketing, do you mean prospects that have given you a no response, or would that be like pestering them? Well, if they've given you the email and they're willing to allow you to email them. See, there's a difference between just sending somebody a quote and then sending them an email every single week versus someone who's opted in to receive your information. Okay. Someone that's opted in to receive your information has said, listen, I'm willing to give you the ability to email me in exchange for this value. So for example, that cheat sheet or free report or content upgrade of some sort, that's where they've specifically opted in. Now, it's a little bit of a gray area when someone's giving your email, giving you the email as a way to communicate with them. But I know a lot of brokers that actually will add those to their email program. But the key is not if you email them. The key is what you email them. If you just send an email every day saying, hey, can I do a freight quote? Hey, can I have some freight? If you just continue to beg for freight and you make it all about you, that's probably going to annoy everybody. But if you provide value, if you provide information that is relevant to your prospect, right, and is something that helps them, then they're probably not going to be mad at you at all. Whether they've opted in or not opted in, the fact is, if you provide valuable information to them, they're going to see you as a valuable resource and they're not going to get mad at you. They're not going to unsubscribe. They're not going to send you a nasty email. So I can't tell you exactly what to send, but here's what I can tell you not to send. Don't send them an email every week asking them if they have any freight to quote on. Okay. That's probably not going to get you, after the first 3, 4, 5 emails, it's probably not going to give you a very good chance to be successful with that person. You need to figure out a way to be different. Provide value, whether that be some interesting article that's relevant to their industry, whether that's some sort of information or content that you've created, whether that be a video or an article or a blog or a podcast. Provide some sort of value other than just asking them to buy. And you'll be surprised at the type of rapport and relationship and trust you can build. So I hope that helps. All right, guys, listen, that's going to wrap it up for today. I can't stress it enough. If you guys need help with sales and you want to be notified when I launch the Freight Broker Sales Accelerator, go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com/waitlist. It's going to launch in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Get on the wait list. It's not a free program. It's not a cheap program, but it's going to be worth 10x whatever you pay for it. Plus, I usually offer a 14-day refund policy on that, so you can go in there, kick the tires. So there's really no risk associated with it. We have rarely, if ever, have had anybody request a refund on that program, but it is a part of the guarantee. Okay. So, and if you're new to freight broker and you want to just start out as a freight broker or a freight agent and you need some help connecting the dots, you can check out freightbrokerbootcamp.com. Again, that's my startup program. Where is that? Let's see. That's my startup program. Well, you can see here. Yeah, that's my startup program. Just go to freightbrokerbootcamp.com and you can see all the details there. We offer 2 programs. We have a gold program, which is a 1-year membership, 1-year access and 1-year support. And then we have our very popular platinum program, which is lifetime access and lifetime support. That means 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, if you're still having challenges or issues, or you need help growing your business at that point, you can reach out to us and we'll continue to support you lifetime of your business. Okay. So you can check that out at freightbrokerbootcamp.com. We offer a 60-day, 100% unconditional money back program on the Freight Broker Bootcamp program. So you can check that out. Thank you everybody for being here. I hope you enjoyed the training. You guys had a lot of great questions. I will try to come back into the feed later and maybe try to answer some of those questions. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. I'll see you next Monday at noon with another Freight Broker Bootcamp Live. Have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon.